Welcome to the Imagine Not Being Leeds.
Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds. Now then, everyone, welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's had a good Monday. Thought I'd jump on and have a bit of a chat about Daniel Farke's press conference ahead of the game against Sunderland at Ellen Road tomorrow. This was quite an interesting one. Obviously, wanting a little bit more detail on the red card and his thoughts on everything regarding that City game, the bits on the field and off the field, which have been massive talking points. So I was intrigued to see how he spoke in this one, to get his thoughts. And yeah, it was an interesting one. He's a funny guy, as Farke as well, and I've noticed in the last couple of presses, he's just a funny man. Some of the stuff he comes out with. He will no longer jog on the football pitch towards the referee, as he knows that's now not allowed. But yeah, he's very bemused as to why he got a red card. That's very evident from what he said in his press conference. But yeah, touching on sort of jogging, saying he was one of the slowest strikers in Europe when he played football. So it's a bit of a weird one that he's been sort of red carded for jogging at a decent pace, which has surprised him. But again, a few quirky moments in that press conference. But yeah, a lot sort of in there, a lot to sort of dissect. But let's have a look who's in. Danny Rumsey, how you doing, Mr. Rumsey? Hope you're good, my mate. Hope you and family are well. Smash a like and subscribe, please. Poppy Perkins, Farke is a legend. Yeah, he is, Poppy. Hey up, Matty. That was Farke's best presser, in my opinion. Stripper, I think it was class. Really enjoyed it. He's just, like I say, he's a funny guy, but there were quite a lot in there to sort of unpack. The usual things we look for pressers, injuries, etc. There isn't loads of injury news, but there's a bit. But yeah, just getting his thoughts on the red card and the whole Ramadan situation and everything to do with the referee was the main talking points in this one, which it would always go into, wasn't it? Adam Toes, afternoon, Matty. Hope you're doing well. I'm good, mate. I'm good. I hope you're good. Alive while I'm still grafting. Mint. I'll take that, Joseph. I'll take that. No better, is there, when you're working and someone you're watching YouTube who pops up. So yeah, I'm saying whenever one of my favourites pops up, I like to watch them while I'm working. But yeah, this is we'll touch. I've got some notes here. I'm just going to read through and we'll just sort of go through it together. So Farke spoke for a long time about the red card. It is his first red card in 20 years. The official reason for the red card was for entering the pitch, but he has said that he has done this before. Over the last 20 years, and all of the other managers do this after every game at the final whistle as well. So we all see this all the time, don't you? Always get maybe captains or some players walk over. Don't get me wrong, there's never many moments where a manager's bulldozing over, but again, I don't think it should be a red card for approaching the referee in a quicker manner than usual. But yeah, the fact that it's something he does after every game. He spoke a lot about respect and how he conducts himself, and he measures himself as a man against that sort of way he lives his life, and he never wants to come across aggressive or anything like that. He's very respectful. So after each game, he always shakes the hand of the opposing manager and then makes his way over to the referee to sort of shake his hand and obviously exchange a few points. Sometimes, hopefully, there's no points, no bad points to sort of touch on, but there'll always be a brief conversation after an initial handshake. Yes, he's done that for the last 20 years, as do all the other managers. He said that he didn't abuse Peter Banks, said that he didn't say one bad word against him. He said he simply asked why when he had warned City players about time wasting 3 times during injury time and even given a yellow card to Nori, why no extra time was added on to accommodate this. So it's nice to hear what the main sort of problem Farke had with him. Loads of points in that game. The stamp on Gruev, which was, in my opinion, and Daniel Farke's by the looks of it, deliberate. The handball, maybe a couple of penalty shouts in there, let's be honest. And the James Justin as well challenge. There were several key points in there Leeds could feel hard done by. But Daniel Farke really wanted to talk to him about the 6 minutes added time. a couple of time-wasting moments in there, a yellow card too, that should really add 20, 30 seconds per incident. So that you could have been looking at 6 as a minimum. It maybe should have been 7 plus. Give Leeds another opportunity to pump the ball long. Not saying anything would have come from it, but again, when you get told it's 6 minutes minimum, and it blew basically bang on 6 minutes. He was annoyed with that. Said he disagreed with a number of decisions. The straight leg tackle on James Justin, the foul on Aronson in the build-up to the goal, the stamp on Gruev, the handball, and finally the lack of added time at the end. Said that especially the added time has to be given at this level. Yeah, I agree with all that. He was also critical of Banks. Said he didn't even look at him, didn't listen to him, didn't talk to him, just gave him a red card to show the world that he did something very wrong. Said that he believes he will be in the dugout on Tuesday night because it has to be overturned. So he feels very strongly about this. Does Farke? He doesn't understand. You know, the referee hasn't looked at him, hasn't spoke to him, and he's just issued a red card before he's even got to Banks. So at this point, he's not even uttered a word to him. So it does, beg his belief as to why he's actually red carded him. I understand the sort of aggressive manner he was approaching because, let's be fair, he wasn't tiptoeing around. He was definitely gunning for the referee, but again, he goes on to say he's not the prettiest when he's running. So he makes some remark about his facial expressions as he's running, which again showing Farke's humour, even in such a tough situation there, getting recarded. But again, there's just no reason for that red card to be done, and he's in total bemusement as to why it has, and he fully expects to be in the dugout on Tuesday against Sunderland. I was not sent the full report of the red card, which is shocking, and I've never had one before, so I can't tell you about the process of appealing. I can just say that this red card is a clear and obvious mistake and should be overturned, and so I expect for it to be overturned. So again, he fully expects this to be rectified in his favour. I've heard today that Leeds are appealing. He will be in the dugout for tomorrow's game. Maybe if the appeal's not successful, there'll be a game later down the line. But looking at everything, even Farke, who's been in the game 20 years, it should be overturned. It should be overturned. He then goes to speak on Ramadan. He spoke about the confusion fans have about the break. In the first City game, a break in play to have a team talk was a huge topic. When Donnarumma went down without an injury, felt that Leeds fans were booing because they didn't know why this was happening and perhaps linked it to what had happened before. This is how I sort of felt about the situation, especially when it was happening. But he said that, of course, if people were booing Ramadan specifically, then of course they need to learn. That obviously that is wrong. Says that there is no better place for living together with people of different religions than a football club. My gut feeling was that the supporters didn't know what was happening. But if it was disrespectful, then those people have to learn from that. Yeah, I agree with all that. Let's get into some comments. Brett says, evening, Matty. Unfortunately, this is a bad timing video. Are you and Wayne doing Bridging the Gap later? Yes. Yeah, no, we're not doing it later. We're doing it on Wednesday. We're going to be doing one about 7 o'clock. Might just be about half an hour on Wednesday. But me and Wayne are getting together today, Wayne, to do a couple of pre-records, one for my channel, one for his channel. So there will be a preview out tonight, just as a pre-record. But we will have a live on Wednesday, maybe 7, 8 o'clock. That ref is a disgrace. Yeah, Brian, 100% disgraceful performance from the referee. And Liam Colton says, Leeds were lucky. I think we should have killed it in the first half with 4 or 5 big chances and didn't put 1 or 2 of them in. But I hope performances carry on through the season. Leeds were lucky. I think Leeds were unlucky in that game, to be fair. Really do. He then goes on to say the performance against Man City was excellent and a draw would have been a fair result. We didn't allow many chances and we only conceded with 5 seconds to go in added time in that first half. We can take even more confidence from this. Joe Rodon is available. Only question is of James Justin, who was hit with a straight leg tackle and had to have stitches. Yeah, that had to actually have stitches in that. There were a lot of blood coming in his sock, wasn't there? So no surprise there, really. Even though he didn't even get a free kick, but should be okay. So it is just Noah Okafor out. So that's good news. Noah Okafor is the only injury for this game. Obviously, seeing Joe Rodon looked like he was clutching his hamstring with a little bit of a concern, and obviously James Justin with a bloody sock. But both of them should be available for tomorrow's game, which is brilliant news. We had tight games against Sunderland on championship level and also this season. The away game was a good game. They have already beaten nearly everyone at home, so it was a good draw. You have to prepare for key players like Granit Xhaka. It is important we control him, but Sunderland have more threats than just him. They are very dangerous on the counter-attack, so we have to make sure that when we lose the ball, We have to control the counters. On the other hand, it's not easy to create chances as they are a compact side. So, yeah, it's going to be a great game. I think tomorrow night it should be end-to-end. I think Leeds will dispatch of Sunderland in decent fashion, in my opinion, but I will have a preview out later, like I say. The mentality of the LUFC team to respond to adversity and to never lose our mental strength and confidence has been so impressive, and it's very hard to show consistency in this league, but we have shown over several months really consistent performances. I agree with that. On the handball against Manchester City, Farke says it's important that football is easy and as clear as possible for everyone. And with the handball rule, we need more clarity. I agree on that too. I'm sure you do. This would be helpful for everyone involved, the players, the referees, and the fans. On hands-on stack, this was quite funny today in the context of the aftermath of criticism for Nagelsmann, should I say? This was quite funny. To mention this, he is highly praised as one of the best signings of the Premier League. He's delivering on a top level, shows versatility, plays in every midfield role and delivers with consistency. He's great in the air and wins many duels for us. He hardly loses a ball. He delivers goals and assists and is a creative spark. Also against the ball, covers ground, high speed, distance. A very, very complete player, and glad we have him. That's on the Nagelsmann remarks, talking about stacking quite a negative light today. I don't know if you've seen the quote. I've not got it on me to hand, but yeah, the German national coach not really speaking highly of Anton Stack, throwing into doubt maybe a World Cup call that we all assumed he'd have may not be on the cards. And on the tight turnaround, Farke said there is not one player who is not ready to go. There's only one, Noah Okafor. So yes, that's pretty much the presser in a nutshell. So let's see what you guys got to say about it. We'll have a bit of a chat. Nige, afternoon, Matty. Farke's red card should be overturned, but will it? Well, it's quite funny how he sort of spoke about it, Nige, because obviously he said he's never been in this position before, never had a red card as a manager before. But I would assume with this one, I mean, it's tough, isn't it? Because for it to be overturned, someone's got to admit the referee's made a mistake there. But I think it's that clear and obvious. I think they've got cam footage, haven't they? They've got ref footage, some sort of camera attached to them, so there should be some footage there to look back at. And I mean, for someone who usually walks up to the ref, and they always do, he did touch on these. I think there's a bit of an official rule, I think, of which maybe how they get Farke. I don't think he's supposed to approach the referee. I think about until 30 minutes after full time, he mentioned something about a 30-minute rule. But this is a rule, but everybody sort of breaks it. There's always, after each game, they always walk over and out of a mark of respect, shake the manager, the referee's hand. Does every manager really in football, and just have a mention, just make a note, pass on a comment or something. Why wasn't that a penalty? Why was that a yellow card or whatever? Why was the time waste? There's nothing too bad in that. They all do it. But I think because of the manner he was approaching the referee just straight away banged the red card up. I don't know why that should matter until he's physically done something or said something. But I would assume the fact that he's gone up to him in haste shouldn't mean it's a red card. Walking aggressively, but without any aggression actually given to the person in question, I don't understand it, and neither does Farke. So the fact that he said that, I personally think it'll be overturned. I know we all say about Leeds, and we always get shit on, don't we, from a high level. That's pretty evident in a lot of factors, but I don't think this one will be. I would assume he'll be okay with this one, unless he's lied today in presser, and he has said something, because he said he didn't even swear. I've not even used a swear word or anything. I've just gone with a face that wasn't too kind, should he say, but you can't get a red card for that for me. Andy's story, the referee was so disrespectful to Farke. He had the card ready waiting for him when he got there. Yeah, exactly, mate, without even saying anything. It's what I mean. It's just, when a premeditated card, he's seen him coming over and just red carded him instantly. But the repercussions of that could be massive for a side like Leeds United. Not having your manager on the touchline. I know it's not something that's a be-all and end-all, but, you can't just card people for walking in your direction. You can't do that. So I think it'll be fine. And to be fair, if he does get away with it, if it is overturned, there should be some repercussions for the referee, really. I mean, who does he think he is? Who does he think he is? Wait until you've got a reason to card somebody, a reason to do that. Rodon, okay. Yes, Rodon is available. I've had a scan. He said, Joseph, they've scanned it and there's nothing come up on the scan. So, yeah, he's good to go tomorrow, which is great news. A few people I've heard the last few days saying, maybe Rodon should get taken out. You've got the whole Biol problem at the minute, that they can't get Biol in the side because James Justin's been playing. And I actually think Pascal Strauch, who's I think at one point's been a lot of people's favourite to come out for Biol. And I know that the balance of the left foot and all that, I'm big on that. But I actually think Pascal Strout's been one of our better defenders this season. Since we've gone to about 3, I think he's outstanding. So there is a conversation now about how you can get them all in. But I love that conversation. I love having more players to choose from, more players that we're happy with. And if James Justin, if Rodon, if Biol, if one of them's got to be on the bench, it is what it is. It's decent competition, a decent depth. But Rodon for me is a fan favourite, yes. And I'm glad he's fit because I can't imagine a back three without Rodon in it, in my opinion. But it's good to know he's good. I think it will be much more fitting for the referee to see disciplinary. Exactly, Adam. I feel as strongly about it as you do, mate. I think that should be the case. I genuinely think that should be the case. Especially if he's proved innocent and the appeal goes through and it's overturned, which I think it will be, then there should be repercussions for the referee. There should be somebody holding the referee accountable for his mistakes, just like we're all accountable for all our mistakes in our job. And mistakes happen. That's one of these things. Mistakes happen in life. Too many mistakes happened against Man City. Too many mistakes happened on Saturday night. It was appalling. Ref was frightened seeing an angry sausage, seeing a big German sausage charging towards him. That's all Farke wanted to do, give him some of his German sausage. Hopefully the ref will have to explain his actions and the red gets rescinded. Yeah, I think all that will happen. Stripper, I imagine all those things will happen. Shit refs, we only get shit refs. We do. Bremner's Ghost, we do. To be fair, I'm starting to think everybody does. The level of, I mean, I don't really enjoy the Premier League as much as I did, a few years ago. I think it's the money involved. It makes it not as attractive, I don't think, on the eye. It's all about, getting points to get money and stay up, and it's a business now, and it's not as attractive, I don't think, in the flair plays we used to have. Remember JJ Kocher? He won't be able to do any of those nice little step overs and bits he used to do, will he? Because the entertainment factor, I think, sort of dwindling. But I think in terms of the refereeing, it's not. I mean, you got to think England Premier League. It's the top league in world football. Regardless, if I don't think it's as attractive as it used to be, it's the top league. The referees are so poor. There could be reffing non-league for me. The standard's shocking. It's like, for me, the referees are so scared to make a decision in case they get anything wrong. They leave everything to VAR now, and they're always waiting for that call in the ear, that tap on the shoulder, basically, to say you need to look at this. They're so scared of making a decision for themselves, and I don't mind human error. And I'd actually rather not have the VAR issue there and just have the human error. It's offside. They've got it wrong. It happens. But the fact they're getting stuff wrong when they've got the additional replays to look at and the technology there should be no grade. It should be right and wrong. There should be no room for error now. They've never had it so good in terms of being able to get a decision right, yet they're still getting them wrong. And at the highest level of football, it's shocking. Farke won't rotate, probably same 11 that started against City, although I would like to see Bielsa. Yeah, Don, I mean, I'm not too fussed in terms of the 11. I thought they played well enough against City. I thought we started like house on fire. I thought, we got a point at Villa, almost got a point against City, should have scored a goal or two on Saturday. The lineup, I think, will be fine if it is the same. But what I will say is the lack of rotation from Farke is an issue at times. And the fact that it's a Saturday, Tuesday, it should really lean into a little bit of rotation. Doesn't have to be not too drastic, but a little bit of rotation should really be in there. But we'll see how it goes. Hey up, big lad, up you. Well, I'm good, Stripper. I hope you're good, my mate. I reckon we are still going down. Trike, you think we're still going down? No way, mate. Absolutely no way this club gets relegated. Steve Brown, don't think Justin will start giving these a stitch in his leg. I'd start Biol, Sunderland, have a bruiser in Broby up top, let Biol sort of. I mean, I haven't seen the press conference from Regis Labrie, but I'm pretty sure Steve Broby's out. He's out, he's injured. I don't know how long he's out for, but he missed the last game. I'm sure he's out for this game too. I'll find out off Wayne later on, so keep, stay tuned for that later on. There'll be a preview out with my mate Wayne from Only Fools and SAFC. I'm sure Broby's out. They've got Isidore, they've got Mayenda, who scored at the weekend, so they've got a few physical bodies up there. But yeah, hopefully Broby is out, as I think he is, unless he's back this game. But I think it'll be too quick a turnaround for him. I would lean into what you said there, Steve. I would look at starting Biel over Justin. Justin's played a lot of football for somebody who, I know he's played a bit at Leicester recently, but he's injury prone. He's Justin, let's put it that way. And we've had Touchwood, we've had a really good run out of Justin. But if he's had stitches, yeah, he can play, but when you've got Biol sat there, do you need to force it? I would look at Biol coming in for either Justin or Rodon. Yeah, Rodon's not got severe, but there were a little issue there with him holding his hamstring. But it looks like he's okay. But maybe there's scope for at least one of them to come out, Steve, and not risk it and play Biol. Pep, Slot, Arteta constantly go to the pitch and moan the referee, zero repercussions. Farke, this is it. Top 4, top 5, top 6 bias. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's like the penalty that Leeds were denied. I've seen a lot of people say, maybe it travelled a long way, but there were a nudge into the player that put him off balance. And I tell you what, no matter what, if that's Man City, if all those decisions are the other way around, City get 2 penalties, Pep doesn't get red carded. It just doesn't happen because it's Leeds United and you're playing a Man City. That's what you're facing. You're not only facing the quality of the opposition, which is already an uphill battle for a side like us. Bear in mind, we battled really well and we do really well. We've done so well this season. But you've also got the officials and not only the manager in the middle, also the VAR, just the managers on the whole. It's mental to suggest a side like us can challenge someone like Man City when you're adding the officials in their corner too. It's just not good enough. Great weekend for us, even though we lost because all the other teams didn't get points. Andy, great weekend for us. Almost perfect. If you take our result out of the equation, almost perfect. And we're going to get weekends like that. We're going to have weekends where we can't get a result. I don't think there'll be many more, to be fair. I think these next 10 games, I always thought if we were outside the relegation with these 10 to go, we're fine. The fact we're 6 points clear, honestly, there's no stress at all, guys. There's no stress at all. We'll go down. But you're going to have this because we're down towards the bottom of the table. The sides we're competing, we don't win week in, week out. So guess what? When we don't win week in, week out, it doesn't matter. Whereas if you're City, if you're Arsenal, if you're, Man United, Chelsea, anyone at top end of league, if you're hoping to win silverware or get into the top 4, if you drop points, even a draw, the chances are the sides around you get 3 because that's where you are in the division. The bottom of the table is totally different. It's no surprise to me that all the bottom 5 sides lost this weekend. That's what happens. Well, bar West Ham. West Ham get a draw? It's one of them. That was Sunderland that got a draw, wasn't it? Yeah, West Ham got beat 5-2. So it's one of them where you don't have to win every week. Ideally, you do, but nobody else around you is going to win either. Every single game. So it worked out really well. A really good weekend, all things considered. All VAR's done is take away the passion for the game. The worst, 100%, Bremner. When you're in the stadium, it's taking it. Even at home, when you're watching it, you don't actually know if it's a goal or not. You find yourself celebrating twice per goal, half-arsed. It's sort of an initial get in, and then within a few seconds, you sort of root it to spot. What's going on? Is it a goal? Looking at flag. What's happening? And then if it does go to VAR, then you have that. Yeah, it's like 2 half-assed celebrations rather than just one euphoric moment because you don't actually know if it's going to be a goal or not, especially, with it offside or whether it's a goal line scramble. You just never know. You can never get too excited in the moment now. And it's all about living in the moment. It's all about enjoying those moments. And yeah, it's certainly harmed the game in that instance for me. You're right. Carol, Daniel needs to put in a formal complaint. Important matches with vindictive referees cost team points. Video cameras don't lie. Yeah, exactly. And like I say, he does have a ref cam, so that'd be really interesting to see that. And it's funny how he said he hasn't been sent the report. Is that because yesterday was Sunday? Like, it's Monday afternoon now. Surely it's an email. Surely there's a report wrote up on Saturday night after the game. Why is he not being sent the full report? Why does he not know the legal proceedings after being shown a red card? He should know this. He should have been told this. But yeah, I agree. Important matches, people's jobs on the line, millions of pounds on the line. You need to have a more consistent level of refereeing in this country for how big the football is in this country, how important it is, how much money is involved. You can't be having referees who are getting decisions wrong to that level and that many times within the game when they've got the help of technology so easy. The ref didn't miss our cleats. No, it didn't easy. It didn't. And that happens. And that's why we lost 1-0 to City. It was a great performance by it, but it is what it is. But still, there were so many errors we can talk about the errors of, missing chances. What about the errors of the officials, though? You can't just say, if we should have had a Stonewall penalty, you've got to bring that up. It's got to be something you bring up. Yes, we missed chances, but there's a referee there to officiate the game and get the decisions right. Yeah, the players don't ever get everything right, but the game has to be, for me, refereed fairly. And I think in this game, regardless of, like you're saying there, yeah, it's not the referee's fault. DCL didn't score. No, it's not, but it's the referee's fault for me. DCL didn't get a chance to put a ball in net from a penalty. It's the referee's fault there wasn't a red card for Cherky for stamping on Gruev's leg. these decisions are massive in the context of, getting a result. Yes, we missed us chances. We did, but we should have had other chances based on the referee doing his job right. One definite change should be Gruev out. Either Metro or Tanaka. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Lightning. There's no point even mentioning Tanaka at this point. He's just not getting no game time. I think for the visit of Sunderland, we should be a little bit more thinking more on the front foot, thinking more in an attacking capacity. I would love Metro to start two up top with Calvert-Lewin. I would love that. We haven't seen it nowhere near enough as we should have done. What I will say is, I think if you lined up with the same team, I think we'll still put a few goals past them. I honestly think the way we started against City, it's all about the intensity, the press, the aggression. We get all that right. I'm not too concerned. We can still be attacking with a Gruev in there. We've seen that. We saw it against City again. We've seen it many times this season. But I agree. I would love to see us play a little bit more expansive, put another body up top and see how we get on that way. But I'm not too sure he will. Not too sure he will. He's a Gruev fan. I don't think Gruev were brilliant against City. I don't think Ampadu were brilliant against City. But Ampadu's got to be in there. He's been outstanding this season, one of our best players. Maybe this is a game you look at Gruev and say, well, you weren't fantastic the other day. This is an opportunity now to maybe come out and try something different, but we'll have to see. Hey up, George. All right, pal. First time you are. Thanks, George, with the red thing. Should they do challenges with the referee or something else rather than the obvious decision because they are, but they still mess up? Yeah, they're going to mess up, aren't they? Human error is a thing, whether it's a referee or a manager. It's just at this level for there being so many decisions made wrong in that game. I don't know how Farke can keep a lid on it. I mean, I'm slightly annoyed that he lost his head and he brings sort of like his into dispute for another game. Potentially at the time I was thinking, you're going to miss Sunderland. That isn't going to be the case now. But like the emotion, he talks about emotion a lot as Farke. Emotion's a thing in football and it should never be stripped away. Emotion in football should never be stripped away from the game because that's what we all love the game. Whether you're a fan, a player, a manager. So I love to see his passion, but if Broby out, he's great. I'm sure he's out, mate. I'm sure he is. I really am. Abdul Rahman Al Khalifa, member for 1 month, class, mate. Hi, Matty. Why are some of our fans still worried? The boys have been just brilliant last 2 months, and with a bit of luck, we could be in. Yeah, I agree. There's starting to be a bit of a gap now above us, isn't there? But I still think we can finish maybe 2 or 3 places higher. I think we smashed 45 points. I think 15 out of the next 10 is massively achievable. A point and a half a game, maybe more. I think the next few home games are really good. We've still got Wolves and Burnley at home to come to. I expect us to get maybe 12 points at home this season, maybe 12. Maybe a few more. I think we can win all those home games now from now to the end of the season. Whether that'll happen or not, maybe not. And I do got to believe Leeds will win another away game this season because one's criminal of how well we've played. But again, I think the nerves come from a place of just being a Leeds fan and expecting the worst, hoping for the best, expecting the worst because that's what we've been burnt over the years in Abdul Rahman Al Khalifa. But everything we're seeing, from the points in the table to the underlying stats to just the general eye test and feel every game when you watch our boys, we're the only team in that bottom 5, bottom 6 who have the effort, have the fight, have that will to win, will to stay up, that desire for the badge. I look everywhere else and I don't see that. So I think that stands us in great stead. What's she actually being sent off for then? Approaching the referee. He said for jogging towards a referee. That's the only thing he can look at it as. He didn't say a word. As the red card was given, he hadn't even spoken to the referee. Not swore, not done anything. Was jogging in the referee's direction, George. Shocking that, isn't it? Shocking. Yep, it is. I love the passing from our manager, Matty. Passion. I love the passion. Yeah, that's it, Liam. Like I say, I was a little bit gutted to start with thinking you need to keep a lid on it, you're the manager. But I love passion. You know me, I'm a passion merchant as it is. I'm all about passion. I don't like dissecting games. So I just like to give you my fan opinion on it because I'm just a passionate bloke about my club. So you've got to love that when that spills over from time to time. Yes, getting a red card for a player, a manager is not ideal, but you've got to love that human element of just, I'm fuming and need to say my point. And that's all it was. Before he'd had the opportunity to give his point, he's already been recorded. Remember Klopp on the pitch getting Pascal sent off against... I do. Pep was also out of his technical area and over the touchline towards the end of the game. Why weren't they? But because it was Liverpool, Nige, because it's Klopp, because it's Arteta, because it's Pep, there's different rules, Nige. Rightly or wrongly, there's different rules for us. Us and them. It is an us and them situation. Shocking. What's happened to the refs giving corners to opposing teams if keepers time waste? Yeah, I agree with that, Claire. I agree. I think they should. Block whistle, your time wasting, they can have a corner. That there, Claire, something as drastic as that would iron that out. It would iron the time wasting out. Maybe it's something they should look at, you're right. VAR would be fine if they was consistent, but they hide and protect each other, and even more angry, they say one thing, you go, okay, then, and then go infuse it, don't do it again. And yeah, no, you bang on. It's the consistency that is the issue. You know, the VAR's in there to help, and it should help. It should literally get every decision right. You know, there should be no. I'm not too. It should be right. But even when they draw the lines on full offside, George, sometimes I look cockeyed. You know, I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. I think some of our fans can be a touch entitled. We was playing City, not Wolves. Priestley was exciting us to get wiped all over telephone. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some wild takes, Liam. Some fuming fans that we didn't win the game. I do think there's some games you have no sort of right to think you're going to win. And this was one of them for me. You know me, I don't like using the term free hit, but City and Arsenal, they are the games you look at and think if you can keep it tight, even a narrow loss is good for morale in terms of not getting slapped up. We were brilliant against City. We've been brilliant against City for a game and a half against them now. You know, the first half away at City were poor. Outside that, brilliant. I thought Ellen Road, brilliant that second half at the Etihad. And we can take, hangers, keep us an eye for that. 187 people watching, 66 likes. Thanks so much for supporting. Let's try and get that to 100 likes if you don't mind. Please smash that like button. Please subscribe if you're new here. I have got a preview coming later on tonight when I filmed it with my mate Wayne from Only Fools and FCFC. Tomorrow night there'll be match day vlog because I'm at the game tomorrow. There'll also be an instant match reaction after the game as a pre-record with Priestley in the car on the way home. And then Wednesday, there will be a Bridging the Gap early doors. And then I may even depends how results go, I might even do a bit of a watch-along for the other games on Wednesday night. And we'll have a bit of a natter while we're watching some of our relegation rivals, even though we're not getting relegated. So release the fire beast. Referees can change the shape of the game by instant decisions. Blatant bias was apparent on Saturday. Bang on, Gordon. Bang on. So we can talk as much as we want about we've got to be the one that put the ball in the net. We've got to do some things you don't have control over, and that's life. But you're still going to talk about those moments. We're still going to discuss them moments. We're still going to be angry about the moments. There's only so much we can do against a Man City, and we did pretty much all we could do. You know, we kept a shape. We were really hard to break down for me. And when we had the opportunity to attack, we attacked. We weren't clinical. No, we weren't. One of the games of recent times where we really weren't clinical. We've been okay of late, I think. Not needing many chances to score goals. In this game, we had 2 or 3. Didn't concede. Didn't put the ball in the back of the net. That is on us. But the referee has to do his job better too, to give us an opportunity to contest a fair game, which I don't think happened yesterday. There was definitely something going on where too many decisions with VAR. Yeah, it literally gives the game, I don't know, it gives a body the opportunity to give a wrong decision, a marginally wrong decision one way or another. It's not just the referee making a split decision. It gives the opportunity for the VAR to look at it and give a decision marginally one way or another that may have been, if the referee would have just made that decision, may have been a totally different one. And I don't agree with that. It's got to be more consistently good for how much he's riding on these decisions. That referee's done Leeds 3 times this year, MOT. Kevin, I can't remember all 3 times, to be fair. But I believe you. I believe you, mate. VAR should have got involved. Yeah, of course I should. I actually think every decision on a football pitch that is happening in real time should always be looked at. Every single decision, even if it's a marginal one and it's a free kick. Even look at the James Justin one where he's given a free kick the wrong way and it was an obvious blatant error. And it might not have been a massive moment in the context of the game. It wasn't a penalty shot. It wasn't a free kick on the edge of the area. It was in middle of pitch, a 50-50 that I think we should have got the right side of him. The fact that he's had stitches proves it. I think that should have been pulled back. we're going to be shattered for tomorrow's game after playing City. Let's hope 3 points this league. Yeah, but Sunderland played as well, didn't they? Sunderland played as well. They played at Bournemouth. So that, you know, it's same sort of turnaround for both of us. I think we'll be all right. The red can jog on. The ref can jog on. And I don't think I've ever seen so much pushing, shoving and grabbing in the box by all the players when there's a corner in any other season at this. Yeah, VAR doesn't. Yeah, the one on Rodon, shocking. Absolutely all over him. All over him, not giving him any opportunity to go attack the ball at all. Should have been a penalty. Guess we're a bit emotional, Liam. No jogging to the pub might get barred. VAR works, the people run it. Don't. That's the thing. Technology is only as good as the human being using it. In the human being inputting the data, inputting, you know, it gives them everything. Yet there's still human error, even when it comes out of technology, and that's the same in anything, I suppose. I'm having to learn to be good with technology because I'm not really great with it, but you need a permanent team on VAR. It's the only way to stop it. Inconsistency. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. It seems like every other week the adjudicators miss or get things totally wrong. There should be a trial by video with that. Yeah, I agree with that too, mate. So we're just someone at the door. Wasn't the idea of VAR to help the referees with missed and wrong decisions? VAR should be highlighting things like the groove stamp. Exactly, Nige. And the groove stamp was so obvious that he'd done it like that. With no subtlety about it all. His face is just, yeah, it was obvious. I would rather focus on Sunderland now, says Neil, saying this Farke has to play fresh legs and rest some players. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to. Maybe 1 or 2, Neil. Maybe 1 or 2. I'd love to see Metch come in, maybe take Gruev out. I do think there's got to be some scope for Beale coming into this. Beale's been outstanding. Surely he don't miss 2 games back-to-back when they're 3 days apart. I mean, he 2 already back-to-back on bench. Would this be his 3rd in a row? Find it hard to believe there won't be maybe a couple. Don't think it'll be not too drastic, but 2 games in 3 days, there's got to be a little bit of rotation. There's got to be. The 2 teams playing should be able to decide if they want VAR for their match. Yeah, David, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? That'd be a good idea. Do you want it? Yes or no? Silva gets away with a lot because of the bias. City's winning goal at the Etihad was scored while Silva was fouling Arky. Yeah, no, true. True with that as well. They need an ex-pro in the VAR office with the officials. Yeah, I'd be all up for that too, Mark. I think that's something they should really look at. Get someone who actually played the game. We'll look at the detail of the game from a player standpoint. That would be a decent way to look at it. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there, I think, guys. 38 minutes. Yeah, we'll leave it there. But there is going to be a preview for the game tomorrow night with Wayne from Only Fools and SAFC. That'll go out later on tonight. Like I say, there'll be a match day vlog and an instant match reaction tomorrow. And then Wednesday, I might do a bit of a watch along. We'll have a bit of a chat online as well. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, just want to jump on, give my opinion and the details of Farke's presser. So yeah, quite a funny one with Farke today. Finally got to hear his feelings on the red card. And the fact that he thinks he jogs with a very angry face. But yeah, I don't think you can get a red card for that, although the referee has done. But Farke fully expects it to be rescinded, and he will be in the dugout tomorrow because they will be appealing it. But we shall leave it there, and I'll see you on the next one. Please do me a favour, guys. Please like, please subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.